This is the Pain Train Preston Quinn, one half of the Extreme Horsemen. And when I want to hear music and entertainment, I come right here. You're listening to On the Fly with Stevie and Worden.
You are listening to On the Fly.
What's up, guys? And where did Worden go? Did you hide your face? And Warden's gone. Anyway, what's up, guys? He'll be back in just a second. Tonight, On the Fly, we're going live with our WrestleMania 39 recap. We're going to talk about the whole weekend, of course. And here he comes again.
I'm back.
What'd you do?
I bumped my camera. That's all I did with my big ass knee. And it was like, okay, I guess I'm off the air. Oh, well, we're back.
As soon as I went live, I was like, where's Worden? There, bloop, he's gone. But anyway, tonight we're doing our WrestleMania 39 recap. We're going to talk about both nights. We're going to give you our rankings on all the matches, which there were some stinkers, but there were some really, really good ones up there too. We're going to talk
tonight.
Yeah, I see that. We're going to talk about the sale of WWE to Endeavor and the UFC company, and talk about Vince Gomez Adams McMahon.
Yeah, that he does look like a Bond supervillain, dude. Man.
And we're going to talk about his role in the company now and why it's a doom and gloom outlook, at least for me, for WWE, if that's what's going to happen. But as always, joined by Worden. What's up, buddy? How's it going?
Not bad, bro. I've been. It's been a minute since we've.
It has been a minute since
talked. It's been a little foreign to me not to do these every other while. Yeah, since our last episode was foreigner.
Humor,
you missed it.
Yes, whatever. But yeah, we've been busy. We've had some interviews. We've got some more interviews coming up. Look, I think with this Brickshore Media with Nicole, she's got me 5 more people to interview. And we're going live tonight because we had a good time this weekend on the live chats during WrestleMania. And we had a good crowd here. Well, I don't know if you saw Worden, but I did like a Saturday afternoon, like a preview for the first.
I popped in and popped out. I was kind of watching Mania and popping in and popping out.
Well, this was that afternoon while the NXT pay-per-view was going on.
There was an NXT pay-per-view before WWE?
Yeah.
Okay.
Started at 12 that day. But we had a guy from Russia come in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that poor guy was asking, how many matches have happened so far at WrestleMania? I was like, 0, because it hadn't started yet. And we got to talking to him, and he was like, I couldn't say his first name, but I just called him Khan. His last name was Khan.
You didn't call him Nikita or Ivan?
Oh, that's just wrong, dude. That's just wrong.
Well, it's the Russians. It's wrestling, dude. That's all it was,
Yeah, but he's a med student. He was telling us all about it. He's a med student. He's a medical school student.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, we wished him well and told him to come back on that night, but I didn't ever see him, the time difference, I think it would have been 6 a.m. when WrestleMania started for him.
So is that the most far away guest we've had?
As far as I know.
Next to Jack music
Pinocchio.
Here. Yeah, music
Speaking
here.
Speaking of Pinocchio.
In New York.
He's in the States.
Yeah.
We've got our fingers crossed. Pinocchio is going to be in North Carolina next week.
Oh, cool.
So we might meet up. You might get to see Pinocchio. We might get to see Pinocchio live. So
hey,
I'm hoping.
Yeah, and we know he's the one listener that listens because he actually comments. Yeah, he listens. So
we know we got at least one in Australia.
yeah.
But just talking about a few things that are going on. Like I said, we've got the interviews going on, and we've got some Kiss related interviews coming up, and one is already in the bag. I've just got to get it edited down. There's another one coming up that's Kiss related. We just don't. I don't like to let the cat out of the bag until it's done, because you never know. You never know what might happen. And but yeah, really excited about that. A lot of music stuff.
No, I'm excited. I'm sorry I missed the last one. I can't wait.
Yeah, Ward. Unfortunately, the last Kiss related interview was on a certain schedule, and it didn't meet Warden's schedule.
It killed me because I'm a Kiss tard, so I loved it. So, I missed it, but I'm looking forward to it, Stevie. You did
we'll
good
get
job.
That out.
I can't wait for the people to hear
get that out in the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we'll have some more interaction with him. But we'll let you know who that is soon. Now really, we had WrestleMania 39 this weekend, 2 nights. And I'm telling you this, a lot of people were asking me, some people that don't have the app. And I was like, dude, they were like, well, how much does WrestleMania cost this year? It was like $60. Like, no, you can get the Peacock app for $4 and watch it all weekend.
Yeah, get it while you can. That's all I'm going to say. Get it while you can.
Yep. Because
you better enjoy Mania for $10 for a while, because a certain someone, Nick Khan, dropped on. I think it was Colin Cowherd's show, said something that they're looking at that $60 model again.
Yeah.
And for cheap bastards like us, I mean that
it ain't gonna happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I think that's too big. I think.
No, I'm saying it ain't gonna happen for me paying $60.
Well, no, I don't. I don't know. I listen to a couple of wrestling podcasts, and I forget what they're the ones that are always on Bleacher Report. They're I forget the name of them, but they were saying that that's not probably going to happen because more companies are looking to go towards that. The UFC may actually go towards that, because overall, you want a lot of money at once, or do you want it over time? Because they said the WWE people, the Peacock people don't unsubscribe. I have. It's $10. It goes back there. When it was a stand-up network, I did it, but being on Peacock, that's a great move.
Yeah, I mean, you
got to think that NBC
still want to WWE stuff either. Yeah. You got a lot of more stuff to watch on Peacock.
They may make UFC do that too. That'd be great. I'd watch more UFC if that was the case.
Yeah, I might watch some of that. But yeah, it was a big weekend. Like I said, some really, really great matches and some really, really bad matches. We had some injuries.
Yeah, I guess we can go match by match, and you can kind of like it, because we may have different opinions on matches.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we will. But
I think one thing we can agree on: night 1 was a lot better than night 2.
Yes, it was.
Night 1 was awesome.
Night 1 kicked butt. I mean,
yes,
night 2 had its moments, but it was just not as strong as night 1 was.
Yeah.
So I think both nights the announced attendance was over 80,000. One night was 80,900. The other night went over 81,000. Second night was.
I think one night was 85. The other one was 81. I think, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Because it was about 180, 160 something. That's what Cole said. I could figure out where the other 4,000 people go. I mean, you're going to the first night. Is it school? I guess it's a school night.
Did you come the second night?
Yeah, I'm sure tickets were generous. I'm sure tickets were reasonably priced, especially buying through Ticketmaster.
Oh, of course. I know how they are when you buy concert tickets nowadays. They're reasonably priced, right?
Hey, I got to say something about that, and I don't want to get off subject.
Right.
I saw Kiss 3 times on the End of the Road tour. And, of course, this tour's been going on for 4 years. And,
haven't found the end of the road yet.
2 of them aren't their fault. I give them the pandemic stuff. But when I bought those tickets, service charges were like $20, $25 for those first 3 shows I saw. They're playing Austin, which is 45 minutes away from me. And I was pricing them. They're charging $60 fees now. So they've gone up $40, at least for Kiss, and since COVID.
Oh, it's not
bullshit.
It's not just Kiss, buddy. It's Taylor Swift, all
Did
the
you
big
see-
acts.
She played 3 nights at was it 2 or 3 nights at Jerry World? Can you imagine how much money, how much tickets were there? God bless.
And the fact that they're doing the whole fake ticket deal, I had there's some scams out there. I had actual people I know get scammed on some Taylor Swift tickets.
Are you talking when they bought on StubHub or some?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you better watch that. Better be careful with that.
What's bad about it too is that I tried to go see John Cougar Mellencamp. He played a little theater, and I was going through Ticketmaster to buy the tickets. Well, Ticketmaster has this thing called a verified resale. So what they're doing is they're cutting out the StubHubs and just reselling their own damn tickets, and it was $100 on top of that. And it makes you not want to go to concerts.
Exactly. Oh, it's made me not want. I looked at some prices and I was like, I told my daughter, I said, I think the days of me going to see a big act at a major venue are over. I'd rather go to a club or something like that and watch them.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It's the way this world's going, bud.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to see our bands. I mean, I remember when I saw Kiss in 1990, my first one. I paid $18 for seventh row.
I mean, can you imagine?
$18 for seventh row, bro.
Look at some of the ticket stubs from back in like the 70s. They're like $9, $10.
And there no T-shirt should cost over $30. Not even $30.
But
I mean,
that's
especially
the way they
as
make
long
their
as
money now. That's what they'll tell you. That's the way they make their money.
Yeah, I get that, but I mean, it's
Merch and touring.
That's kind of. I don't know if we're going to talk about this because it's been a while since we had on, but Kiss being on Howard Stern, he used to dog Gene and Paul.
Oh yeah,
Kiss for how they rip their fans off. You see Howard Stern, he doesn't sell his memorabilia. He doesn't rip off his fans, and that was always a big bone of contention with him in the 90s. But all of a sudden, they're all buddies again. I'm like, I liked it though. I liked the interview myself. I just thought it was kind of funny because there's a lot of history. Just look it up on YouTube between, especially Gene and Howard.
Oh yeah. They've had their issues there. Do you want to get into that before we go into Mania?
We can get over. Yeah, because I'd kind of like to talk about the Ace interview today too. Wouldn't you?
You want to do that first, or you want to talk about Mania first?
I think we ought to talk about Kiss on Howard and Ace because it's Kiss, and we got to talk about Kiss.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's up to you. I mean,
yeah. So we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. So Kiss goes on Howard Stern, big announcement, and it's pretty much the final 50 shows, the last 2 dates, which I'm going to talk about that too.
54.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. The last 2 dates are going to be Madison Square Garden, December 1st, December 2nd, and what I noticed at the initial 50 dates, no Detroit. And, when you have a song called Detroit Rock City, that's a huge hit for you, then I would think one of your last 50 shows would be Detroit. So there's a lot of talk about that. There was a lot of talk about some other places they didn't hit. Everybody, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Speaking from Texas, I just thought it was weird they had one Texas date, which they already played.
Yeah.
Then they just added Fort Worth, so that makes sense because they'll sell out both those shows.
Yeah. So they get everybody gets in a frenzy about buying tickets to the last 2 concerts, which some people said it was a train wreck, some people said it was easy. It depends on who you talk to, but so these people that didn't have originally a show nearby, they said, okay, we want to see them one more time. So we're going to go some people they had to make travel plans. They had to make hotel plans. They had to buy tickets. So they do all that. Let's say somebody from Detroit decided, okay, well, they're not coming to Detroit. I'm going to just go all out and buy tickets to one of the last 2 shows. So all of a sudden, Kiss comes up about a week later, or maybe 2 weeks later, adds 4 shows, and one of them is in Detroit. Don't you know those people in like Detroit and the other places they added to that went out and bought tickets and made all this stuff? Like, you could have done this before. You instead of waiting 2 weeks later.
I don't know. I don't really have a problem with it because it's called supply and demand. Nobody's forcing you to buy tickets. I mean,
but you do you. That's just like if the next step. Oh, guess what? We just added a December 3rd show. Now you want to see some Kiss Tards get upset? Add a December 3rd show.
Dude, Kiss Tards are going to get upset on all this.
No,
You saw that stuff that went on this.
But you advertise it as the last show, December 2nd. They're not going to do a tour. They may play shows, but they're not. No,
but
what I'm saying, you advertise the last show.
Well, they advertise the last. Tour. Okay, on your point, they advertised the last 50. I get your point there.
Yeah, but they made the big deal about Madison Square Garden, the last 2 shows. 50. So if you add another one to that after that, then people are going to get ticked.
They're not going to do that.
I wouldn't think they would, but stranger things have happened. You know,
they're going to add everything before because Madison Square Garden is where they started and that's where they want to end. They're selling tickets for $16,000 on the floor.
Exactly.
And people are buying them evidently.
We had a farewell tour 23 years ago, and they're still around. So,
but that was a farewell to the other guys, don't you remember, Stevie?
No, hold on. Yeah.
Hey, that's what Gina Paul tell you.
We'll just say it was a farewell to Peter and Ace.
Yeah, it was.
Whatever.
Until they came back with Tommy and Eric in each individual instance.
Thank you.
It was a farewell to
something.
It was a farewell to Peter until they needed him for the Aerosmith tour.
Yeah. Oh, we need you because we got to have 3 original members.
How stupid was that? God.
But yeah, I mean, and then so one of the comments made, Kiss performed, and then Howard asked, why didn't you play with the original 4 with Peter and Ace at the Hall of Fame? And totally out of line. Paul Stanley, God, I love Kiss, but geez, I'm getting ready. They really, both sides of this really are starting to piss me off. Paul Stanley gets upset. Well, we could have done that, but we would have to change our name to Piss.
Totally uncalled for. I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, why? Why couldn't you just have?
Because he's Paul Stanley, and that's what he does.
Have a little bit of dignity and say, we just felt like this. We wanted to represent the band we have now. Tommy and Eric or Kiss, they were. He said, and say what they had said all through the night. But instead of doing that, you got to be a little. Shit.
Well, you can give props to Tommy and Eric without cutting down Ace and Peter.
Exactly.
Ace and Peter were in the band, and Paul Stanley. I'm a Paul guy. You know that. And I'm a Paul and Gene guy mostly. But Paul Stanley reminds me of Don Henley a little bit. Don Henley gets out there and he sings, it's about forgiveness, and about all this stuff, and he won't give Don Felder the time of freaking day.
No,
so it's like, and Paul Stanley does that too, and he cuts down. I mean. Peter, it's it's like the Shout Out Loud guys have said. They just, I know Peter ain't exactly the best, but where's this softer side that you're not in the band anymore. You don't need to cut them down. It's old.
Everybody's heard it over and over again. I mean, the flat tire, the numbing themselves, and I mean that's like a Kiss drinking game right there.
What I can never figure out is how they do that. And I think even when Ace was touring with Gene, Paul was still cutting him down.
Oh yeah.
And I see why Ace responded.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was really successful because I think even Eddie was trying to kind of cover for him. Because I think Eddie was like, hey, you don't want a lawsuit because Gene and Paul will maybe sue you.
Let's get to the next step after the Stern interview, and this is last week. Matter of fact, a week from today,
last Wednesday.
Yeah. Ace goes on Eddie Trunk, and people were saying that Ace sounded hammered. Ace is old.
Ace always sounds hammered.
Ace is almost 70 years old, and he has had a rough. I mean, he's he'll tell you he's done some rough things.
He doesn't sound hammered. That
wasn't a hammered sound.
That interview with Tom Snyder, that was hammered.
Yeah, exactly. But Ace gets on there and talks about a lot of things, and then the Stern interview comes up, and Ace said, "Well, I didn't see it, but a friend of mine told me that Paul made the whole piss comment, and that, and Eddie pretty much confirmed, said, yeah, he did, and then things start really going off the track. Ace says, and he made some good points. There was really one good point up there that I want to bring out. Paul and Gene, before the reunion tour, ever since Ace and Peter left, how many times have you heard them talk about they were numbing themselves, they were unreliable, we're not going to do this, we're not going to be on the stage with them, and then bam, all of a sudden, magically,
grunge happened.
They're good enough to get back on stage with them and play a whole freaking tour with them. Guess what? Money, honey. That's what they were talking about. They needed money.
Yep.
So, and he made a good point. He said, how come all of a sudden I was good enough? How come Peter was good enough all of a sudden to do a whole tour with, to go out every night like that? He said, but then he said, this was the thing that really, really, and I was proud of Ace for standing up for himself, for saying, look, you don't need to be saying that about me, and calling us piss and all that stupid stuff like that, immature stuff. But when he carried it overboard was when, and I am expecting a public formal apology in 7 days, or I'm going to spill dirt on Gene and Paul. First of all, Gene had nothing to do with it. I mean, yeah, Gene's done stuff in the past, downed him in the past, but Gene is not the one that said piss. Gene didn't say it. So leave Gene out of the equation. Second of all, making demands like that, this is not, and then saying, I've got a 120-page manuscript of the stuff my lawyer has, and if anything happens to me, I'm gonna release it to the New York Times.
He did this before. He said that before about how Gene and Paul were gonna kill him or something.
Oh, yeah, they were planning to kill him.
Yeah, when he was with that other crazy chick. Or whatever, so.
But I mean, this is not a freaking Die Hard movie,
It's not The Godfather.
No, I'm going to release it to the New York Times if something happens to me. I think if Gene really wanted to kill you, he could have just left you in that bathtub that night, let you drown. But he saved your butt, And I'm an Ace guy. I like Ace, but Ace is totally out of line doing that. But Paul was totally out of line doing that. And two wrongs don't make a right. But you guys are grown men. Come on, dudes. This is ridiculous.
The thing about Ace that got me is that he hates Tommy Thayer. I don't care what he says.
Oh, God, yeah. Tommy's a nice.
And he goes, well, Tommy can't play a solo like I can. And I think he should just go on stage and do his own thing. And Eddie's like, no, it's not going to happen, with Gene and Paul. And there was one thing that, what did Ace say? That Ace was like, and Ace was like unabashed. He had no problem calling them out for being greedy. But he also said they need to offer me a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
To come play. I'm a capitalist. And Gene and Paul, they're atheists. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? And it's like,
did you hear the actual amount he wants for the two shows to play?
200 something? Or?
$250 million a show.
Okay. He sounded hammered when he said that.
Maybe it was, yeah, he may have been a little crazy. That's not going to happen. I mean, come on, Ace.
But I don't know. And he said that, the only reason they sold out those shows is because they advertised him and Paul and Peter. They never advertised them. They said they were welcome. They didn't advertise. And that stuff about the servers are like, well, they have it on their servers and I can get a warrant. I'm like, so you don't need a warrant. It's on your call history. But somebody may have spoofed him on that. Yeah.
So he comes back today, of course, no formal apology. And he comes back today.
We knew that wasn't going to happen anyway.
No. And I was like, there's not a snowball in a hill chance of that happening. And
Paul Stanley don't apologize to nobody.
No. He came on today. No apology, but somebody called me. Paul called me and said, "F you, I'm not apologizing," which I don't think that was Paul. Paul was on vacation with his kids, and
I don't think it happened myself.
I don't think any. He might have got prank called by somebody, but yeah, I don't think
Stinking Stanley here.
it may have been Stinking Stanley. That look, Ace did mention that guy at the end of the interview, but. So it was pretty much nothing. A lot of people comparing it to Geraldo Rivera opening the Alcopo's vault. So it was really nothing. It was a lot of hype and
I commented on the Shout Out Loudcast when they had that thing saying, if Ace had any dirt, he would have put that in that train wreck he called an autobiography. That was the most boring out of the four. Well, Peter let a lot of dirt out. Yeah, that was good to read. But Paul too. But and Gene was all about himself. But Ace, man, that was the most disappointing of all of them. I just did not like that book.
Just wait for part 2.
Yeah, did he say that about 8 years ago?
Yeah. So he's got a. Did you notice he said? And I don't know. Maybe I'm not saying anything. Did you notice last week he said, "My album has been recorded and is just ready to be mixed."
Oh yeah, this week he's working on it still.
And this week, Joey Casada's playing drums, recording with him.
I don't think Ace is on drugs, but I have
I think it's taking its toll on him over the years, bud.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, he's older now. He doesn't remember. I'm that way. I don't remember stuff either,
But can you imagine? Just multiply that with severe drug use over the years and alcohol. That can take a toll on you. That that.
But Tom and Zeus did say something that on their interview. They were saying that Gene and Paul always talk about the past. They don't say he's hammered now or anything like that. I think Ace was taking it like they're still saying he's an F up.
Look, Ace's feelings got hurt.
Yeah, I know.
They said piss.
And them not inviting him for the tours either.
And he's disappointed that he hadn't got an invite. So that
I don't know. It's only been 20 years since the End of the Road tour started, Stevie. But I don't know if you remember, but Ace really thought he had made up with Gene and everything. He really thought he was going to replace Tommy. He put that out there that it was going to happen. I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember that.
And I think it all goes back to that he, rightfully so, may feel that he's been dicked around by Kiss. But I just can't see that they offered him anything. And I just think he's hurt that they're cutting him down and they didn't invite him on this tour, I think.
I love Ace, but there is no way he could have played this End of the Road tour every night.
He said the day that he could do that. He could play circles around Tommy.
I can tell you that I could play circles around Michael Jordan in his prime, but that don't mean it's going to happen, bud. I would be lying.
Is that Michael Jordan then or Michael Jordan now?
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Hey, speaking of Jordan, you're a big Jordan guy. You going to go see that new Ben Affleck movie?
Yes,
that's pretty good.
I will see that movie. Air.
I wanted to go see Spinning Gold. I had this weekend off and I was going to go see it. And it was like, it showed like the nearest theater was like 30 miles away. It wasn't wide release. And it's a flop. Well, nobody, I'd go see it.
I'll see it. I'll wait till it comes streaming on that one. I've heard some mixed reviews on that. I'll put it.
Hey, Ace liked it. He didn't get any speaking roles, and that's because Gene and Paul told the producer not to give him one. He said that today too.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Yeah. So
because they let him use the logo. So yeah, I go.
I like Phantom of the Park.
I would have if I was Eddie Trunk. I'll go. Why didn't you let him use your makeup, Ace? Oh yeah, you don't own it. But he's leased it to them. He's still and I know that they're not leasing this stuff to Kiss.
I know.
We know that, dude. I heard somebody was talking about like his lawyer's got a manuscript and the guy goes, is that the same lawyer that told him he still owns the makeup?
Exactly. But he contradicted himself. Oh, he's done it again. I can hear you, but I can't. Oh, now I can't see you. So Warden's having technical difficulties. So we'll, Ace kind of contradicted itself on wanted to play for the fans. It was supposed to be about the fans, but then saying I'm going to get the money. Yeah, here he comes back again. Jeez, you need to take it easy on that camera, dude.
Something on my phone screen of Ace blocking me on the internet, so I want to show you this. And if anything happens to me again, Stevie, my lawyer will be releasing the 2-page document.
I got you.
I got my subpoena for T-Mobile to get the phone records from him, so you'll be hearing from my lawyer, and I'll be calling Doc too. Whatever, dude. That was a train wreck today, dude.
Yeah, it was.
And Eddie did his best to cover for him, but I mean, I think he told Ace, "Hey, you got to be careful what you say. You can get sued because
exactly."
Ace was saying that calling them piss was making them liable. I'm like, no, I don't think the court's really look at it that way.
I didn't know.
But him saying that stuff about how Gene and Paul gave him that $200,000, we may be seeing a little more from that. I mean, so he said some stuff that was pretty risque. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I don't see why he would lie about that, though.
Well, he lied about owning the makeup.
Yeah, but
who knows?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like I said, he's been through the ringer, so maybe he don't remember things like he used to.
No, he definitely doesn't, bud.
You think this is the end of it, or you think we're going to hear more?
I don't think. I think Ace is going to hope that we don't hear any more about this because
I think the direct opposite. I think Ace wants this to continue, and I think Gene and Paul will ignore it. Hey, let's get through December, maybe December 3rd, like you said, and then it'll all be over. But Ace is
if they go to December 3rd, then they're going to have a lot more to worry about than Ace.
Well, they already said they're going to play Vegas, so.
Well, but Doc said no more shows after this. After it's over, he said no more shows.
Gene said that they're looking at the Vegas. Gene said
Vegas
thing interesting.
But you know what? Doc
may be gone.
Doc may be gone. Yeah, I think Doc's on the way out, and he don't give a crap anymore. He may have been talking about he was going to be involved in no more shows after that, but
but they don't really need Doc because Doc's. I mean, they honestly they've had a pretty good run since the Fair World Tour. It's not been as good because the set list is the same, but a lot of people are still going to those shows. People are still going to those shows, so
yeah. But Kiss is like a soap opera, that's what it is right now. And being a fan, you've been a lifelong fan. I've been a lifelong fan. Well, no, you haven't been a lifelong fan. You got in the 80s.
Well,
but being a long-time fan as you have, you've been it's kind of not depressing, but it's just stupid to sit here and watch these guys do like this.
I'll admit it. I got into Kiss in the 80s, so I'm a Gene and Paul side guy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I don't think that Kiss would have lasted if it'd been the other two in charge. I don't believe that. But I think it's time to let this shit go.
Yeah,
when you're happy and you're with a new woman, you don't sit there and cut the old one down. I guess you do. But that's what's going on. You can be happy without salute your past, acknowledge it, move on. Be happy you got the farewell tour. Or you mean the reunion tour and the farewell tour? Not all of us were happy, me and Jericho, that they got back together with the originals. There's a lot of us that like the thing that's going on now.
Yeah. I can see both sides of that,
But I'm not an Ace guy, but I'm not an Ace hater. Hell, I like Torpedo Girl. Leave me alone.
Oh, yeah, if you got to be a
dude,
Ace,
that is an okay song. Dude, that's an okay song.
Ooh, oh, it's an okay song now.
It's in my top 10. You know why? Because I don't like a lot of Ace stuff. That's it.
It's an okay song now.
I guess I could have picked. Didn't he do? I guess I could have picked one of his many covers he's done.
2000 Man. Just don't do.
That's a Stone song.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Fox
don't
on
do
the Run.
Fox on the Run. Oh God.
I'll take Torpedo Girl over that.
Look,
I like Unmasked.
Have you listened to Anomaly?
Who's that?
The Ace album, solo album.
Probably not.
Yeah, you need to.
I listened to Space Invader. That's the last one I think I listened to.
You need to check out Anomaly. There's a song up there. God, what's it called? It's something to dream or something like that.
Dream On by Aerosmith? Is it
no, he didn't.
Too?
Oh no. No, A Little Below the Angels.
Okay.
And there is in the middle of
Why,
that,
Stevie? Please don't touch me a little below my angels.
there's a spoken part between I don't know
When
who
I
the
saw
girl,
you coming out of school. Oh,
no,
well, okay.
there's I think it's his daughter. It may be his daughter. I don't know. It's a girl up there and him talking, and it is so. Ace is not a good actor. He's not even up to the caliber of Phantom of the Park.
That's why I didn't have any lines in the Spin and Go, man. Gina Paul, he's not a good actor.
All right, let's get away from Kiss for a little while because I'm starting to grow grayer hair. Let's get to the main event here. No pun intended.
Dig.
WrestleMania
Look out
39.
for the Usos.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. So the whole build up is to Cody and Roman Reigns, and Cody's going to win. Everybody's like, "Oh, Cody's going to win for sure."
I didn't think
Want to
that.
bet?
I
Want to
didn't think
bet?
that. It's too close to 1,000 days.
But night one, let's just start off with night one.
Okay.
And the first match of the night, John, I need to be in the hair club for men, Cena versus Austin Theory.
Dude, as speaking of somebody who
You're
has
not
the
only
Stone,
has
the Stone
but you're
Cold
also a client.
has the Stone Cold way of getting bald. There are two ways you can go bald. You can go bald where you recedes,
Yeah.
or in the back. They can't fix the one that's receding, but the stuff back here, they can fix it. Look at Kirk Hammett.
And
They can fix that. John Cena can fix that.
You know he's got the money to do it.
It drives me nuts. You know what I mean? Either do that or shave it.
I'll tell you this. Say what you want to about Cena as a wrestler. You know, he's got the 3 moves, but one of the best things was, you know, his entrance to the ring. And I'll just, you know, over the years, I've said it many times over the years. If you don't like John Cena as a person, then something is wrong with you. All the stuff he's done for Make-A-Wish, and there were 6 or 7 Make-A-Wish kids out there at the ramp that got to have a WrestleMania moment. They got to sit on that ramp when Cena's music hit and he came out, and he took time to have a little moment with them before he went to the ring. I mean, you know, you can't say enough about
I can't stand John Cena because he had Nikki Bella. That's the whole reason I hate him. I like John Cena outside the ring.
Yeah.
Like in the Fast and the Furious movies or whatever.
Peacemaker.
I don't like him as a wrestler because they never turned him heel, and that just drove me nuts. He would have been great heel.
Oh, he was a heel one time though.
Yeah, but that's beginning.
He was the rap master.
But you know who wouldn't turn him heel? McMahon and stuff like it's the same thing, you know. So no, John Cena, great guy. Yeah, they're giving this match a lot of crap because he was kind of out of shape, but he's not a wrestler anymore. This is exactly why The Rock didn't want to wrestle. But he put Theory over, and they're like, well, he cheated. That's what heels do.
Yes.
They cheat.
Yes. Well, I will say this. This is how I felt about the match. And looking at the headlines that come out, you know, a couple of days after, it felt like it was rushed. I don't know.
It probably was.
And reading later, you know, stuff comes out after, you know, Monday and Tuesday. The allotted time for it went way under the allotted time for that match. And the fact that it was first, I mean, and I'm no booker or anything like that. I don't claim to be. But the fact that you had a match like that first, crazy to me. That's not one of these exciting that, you know, that really the way it went, the tag team match, a 4-way tag team match should have went first because they did some exciting moves. They did some big bumps that would have got the people excited and got them into the match. But this match, you know, you had Theory biting Cena. I mean, this is not get the people into it to start off things, and it just felt rushed, and you know, it was not a good match to me.
I think, you know, it was rushed, but you know, You talk about John Cena from 5 years ago. This wouldn't have been rushed. He
No.
was at, but a lot of people don't like Theory. I prefer heels. I like heels. I think with the biting, I think he's doing what he has to get over. I think he's finally getting over as a heel. I think and this beating John Cena will help him a lot because he said that like on Raw, I beat John Cena. That's going to be his claim to fame now. But yeah, the John Cena 5 years ago wouldn't have been rushed. John Cena was out of his element. He hadn't wrestled since last with Kevin Owens.
Yeah, it's been a couple months. That was the first time in a while.
You know what I really missed, Stevie? I missed the Battle Royal. I love Battle Royals.
You didn't
and
see
I guess
it?
they held it on SmackDown or the night before, and I'm like,
yeah,
because I saw Lashley with
Lashley won it. And let me
I'm
tell
like,
you,
why did they take that out? That should have been first. It's been first for a while. I like that. I like the Battle Royal.
Lashley was highly ticked about of course he did a whole program with Bray Wyatt, and Bray Wyatt has some physical issues going on, but yet I don't know if you saw the I think it was an Instagram post or a tweet. I don't know if it was Saturday or Sunday night.
He was driving by the stadium or something like that.
No, he was going through In-N-Out drive-through, and somebody pulled up beside him and saw him, and they were like,
Bray Wyatt?
Yes. And they said, hey, why weren't you at Mania? He said, my Mania is tomorrow night. So kind of keeping it out there, whether it was Saturday or Sunday, it was either going to be, okay, they think he's coming Sunday night or they think he's coming to Raw. And when we get to the Raw part, he may have been coming and something got changed, but we'll see.
Well, I personally think that, I don't know. We'll talk about that later, but
yeah. So Theory
I didn't have a problem with this match. I kind of like where Theory. I think he's developing as a good heel. He's obnoxious as hell. But
the only the only thing that kept this from being they didn't wrestle that night was being the worst match up there was Miz and
don't be saying my boy Pat McAfee, man.
Dude, I don't care.
I love me some Pat McAfee.
I don't care what McAfee. I love McAfee, but I don't care what McAfee done that night. That match was just a one-sided beat fest.
And it wasn't on the Miz.
It was not anything in that was making me go, oh gosh, yeah, wow, yeah. McAfee last year against Theory, yeah, that was a different story. But this year, no. So
McAfee got his ass kicked by Stone Cold after. That was funny.
Yeah. So the next, I think what was the next match on night one?
The four-way, wasn't it?
Four-way tag match. And started off kind of slow, but I'll tell you this. When Ricochet came running across the ring, hit that turnbuckle, and I mean, there was no hesitation at all, and did that backflip. He didn't know where he was going. He didn't know if the guys were going to be there or not.
That dude's going to have a short career too. It's not going to.
That dude, I mean, and he was up there.
But that's the guy he's always the guy that gets beat. He has the best moves. He always gets beat. Like at the Elimination Chamber, the same thing. He had that thing against Logan. Was it Logan Paul or that the Royal Rumble? And then he got beat. And it's like right after he does a badass move, they pin him.
Yeah. So
what in the world are they doing with Braun Strowman? Why are they?
That's what I was
just wasting the guy's talent.
The guy was a monster the first go around, then leave, and when they bring him back, they kind of push him for a little while. Now he's just, when you're Braun Strowman, the monster, and you're stuck in a tag match, the second match on WrestleMania first night, something's happened. And you know what? I read some of his articles. He was like, he doesn't have a problem with it. He would rather.
Well, yeah, he's making probably $400,000 or $500,000 a year. Yeah, to just beat, just to like do nothing.
So, but yeah, still, he wants to get a push.
And the Viking Raiders, dude, the 80s are over, bro. Come on. I mean, it would have been great to see them against the Legion of Doom or the Road Warriors or the Sheep Herders.
Well, they'll bring the ding dongs out with the rest.
But the Viking Raiders, that is the most.
How about the Zambui Express?
What's that?
Oh, that's back in the day, boy. They had these two big dudes. about 300 or 400 pounds.
That wasn't the one with Johnny Ace, was it? With the
No, that was that was the Bushwhackers, dude. That was a sheep.
No, the Bushwhackers are the sheep herders. No, Johnny Ace. He had Nikki Bella's stepdad, John the old Road Warriors.
I know you're talking about Johnny Ace with the flag.
That wasn't the sheep herders. The sheep herders were the Bushwhackers.
Bet me.
The sheep herders were the Bushwhackers.
I know they were, but Johnny Ace was the flag guy for the sheep herders.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
He was in another team, but he had blonde hair. So
he was with the Dynamic Dudes.
Okay.
With Shane Douglas. Yeah.
Okay, that's right. That's what I'm thinking about. I wasn't.
Anyway, then you look at Braun Strowman doing the Braun train around the ring, and the Street Profits. I don't know what the guy's name from Street Profits was, but he put an end to it. He did a freaking football block that put Strowman down hard.
And I saw that match, and I was thinking, okay, they're the team to watch. So what do they do the next night 2 nights later on Monday Night Raw? They have the champs beat them and kills any kind of push they're going to get.
Here's the thing with that, though. Here's the thing why I didn't think they were going to win the tag match at WrestleMania. What's his name? I can never think of their 2 names. Anyway, the skinnier guy, he's married to Bianca Belair.
From the Street Profits? Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting ready to get a push. They keep talking about a singles push.
They're going to break him up? Okay.
He did well at Hell in a Cell because he was on his own. But they keep talking about getting him into a singles push. So you may see them.
Okay, I just didn't get why they won this match. And I was like, okay. And then they should have built up something for SummerSlam or whatever the next thing is. And then Sammy and KO beat him. So it's like, okay. But I didn't know about the push. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's one of the things that's being talked about. Okay. So
if he's with Bianca Belair, you're a lucky dude, man. I like that.
Yeah.
She's foxy.
So next thing we will talk about the women's tag team match that night, which was Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus versus Damage Control. Lita needs to hang it up.
Yeah,
it was. Trish was a little bit better.
Trish was a lot better, brother.
But yeah, she was a lot better for you to look at.
I mean, I'm surprised she didn't fall out of that thing. My God.
Yeah.
And I love Becky Lynch.
Did you see the Hall of Fame the night before when she walked by Triple H, and then Dominic was right behind Triple H, and then Booker T was behind. So Triple H was just like, I'm not gonna look because I know I'm on camera. Dominic was like, he was sitting back like this, like.
Was Stephanie with Triple H?
Not at the time, but he was on camera, dude. He could. I mean, it would be.
I know, but they usually sit together there.
I'd see nobody was sitting beside him at the time, so I don't know if it was early on or what.
Yeah, don't look. It's kind of like. Have you ever
seen that? Looking like this.
Have you ever seen that Victoria Beckham picture and her and her husband? And they're like a Laker girl, and he's just like looking the other way, and she's looking right at him. Yeah.
Yeah. Who? I don't know who this is. We had a Facebook user, and I'm almost scared to find out who this is. Said, I bet Lita would be way more fun in bed than Trish.
Ask Edge. He's probably had them both.
I don't know if he's had Trish. Trish has been pretty.
She got married. She's married.
Yeah, she's been pretty committed. I don't think that would happen.
But you
definitely with the other one though.
On TV too. But
yeah.
Can you imagine if they did that today? If they took somebody's real life having an affair and made that an angle, people would lose their minds. But they did that with Edge and her. Speaking of Edge,
Matt Hardy,
my boy Edge.
Yeah. I see you representing. I'm trying to see who this is. I want to know who made that. Oh, it's Kyle. Kyle from the Atari episode. Kyle from LaGrange.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming up as your Facebook user, Kyle. That's why I didn't know who you were.
He's not a member of the On the Fly or what?
Yeah, he is. But with StreamYard, if you comment through Facebook, you got to click a button to give them permission to use your name or something like that. So, yeah, that match did nothing for me. I mean,
but honestly, Lita's been a high flyer. She's probably got the body of like Shawn Michaels. She just, but I don't know why unless Trish didn't want to wrestle full time. But they got to be dropping the titles pretty soon.
There's been a lot of talk about, and I thought maybe we were going to see the starting of it about not Lita, but Trish turning heel and working a program with Becky. So I don't know why we didn't see that. I guess there's a reason why we didn't see a lot of things that we're supposed to. But
you may not be seeing. Evidently, rumor is you not be seeing Bailey anymore either.
Exactly. We'll get to that in a few minutes too. So that match didn't really do anything for me. I wasn't expecting a whole lot, but
I'm a big Becky Lynch fan.
Becky
she carried that.
Yeah,
she carried. Well, yeah. Trish too.
And I let me tell you this: not Bailey, but the two girls from Damage Control, impressive. Who's
the one girl? Not the Asian girl, but the other girl. Who's that?
God,
I like her.
I'm
a big fan of hers too, man.
Yeah, they were impressive. They've been impressive since day one.
Was it like, I don't know, it was this year or last year, but the women's Royal Rumble was better than the men's.
Yeah, I remember.
The women's, they're not divas anymore. The women's got some great talent, man.
So, Kyle, this is Kyle. We're going to talk about Cody's match, but Kyle's got a good thing here. Cody needs revenge, just like my daddy did to the Horsemen. We are going to take this thing to the match beyond War Games. Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and a mystery partner against the Bloodline in the match.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, no, that's it's going to be the Shockmaster. Shockmaster is actually Cody's uncle. So
he used to wrestle down here in San Antonio. He's called Big Bubba.
Yeah.
He was like a good guy. Then that ruined his career. He didn't deserve that, man. That sucked. I feel bad for the guy. Seemed like a good guy too, man.
But he embraces it. He embraces the whole Shockmaster thing.
But whoever did that set with the Stormtrooper with glitter, dude, they should be fired.
But that was he still carries that around with him.
He does. That's
probably
what he's best. He's not known as. Was he? He was with that earthquake and typhoon, or who was that?
Yeah, he was. He's one of the natural disasters. Him and earthquake. But
I thought that was earthquake. He a shark or something. The guy that died.
John Tenta. Yeah. He came to WCW. It was the shark. Yeah.
Oh, with that big. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. So that was when Hogan was trying to rehash all WWF storylines that he had with him.
Yeah, because he won those.
Do what?
Because he won those.
Yeah. Next up is the Mysterios. And I tell you what, it went from one of the stupidest entrances I've ever seen. And I know he was. I loved it. I loved it. Stupid.
Hard time. He's in jail overnight. I love that, dude.
Oh my God. He was sitting there like this, and I'm like, come on, dude. Kyle says the Faces of Fear were the worst faction ever.
With Kevin Sullivan? Wasn't that Kevin Sullivan? Yeah.
Yes.
Wasn't Oliver Humperdinck in that too?
No, there was another guy they called the Wizard, the Grand.
With the goatee and the ball guy.
Yeah, he kind of looked like Humperdinck, but it wasn't Humperdinck. I forgot what that guy's name.
Humperdinck was in Florida with Superstar Billy Graham and them. That's
Humperdinck came to WCW. He managed the Freebird. He was their road guy.
He was in Florida too.
Yeah, he started out in Florida. He got his most known in Florida.
I think he had a stint in World Class too, if I don't remember.
I can't remember. He probably did.
I do. Yeah.
Mysterios, you get the stupid Dominic entrance. He managed Bam Bam in WWF and in
World Class.
NWA. He did it in NWA too.
Yeah, so he brought Bam Bam to World Class. That's right. Okay.
But then you have Ray.
Did you look that up just now? That was pretty quick, Stevie.
No, I knew that.
Oh.
Useless information up here in this head, buddy. Yeah.
I'll say one thing about Rey Mysterio. I've never been a Rey Mysterio fan.
Yeah.
But they were talking about it. I don't know if it was on Busted Open, but they were saying that Rey Mysterio under Triple H has finally got his due. He's finally been respected because Rey Mysterio didn't start in WWE, so Vince McMahon he's not one of his guys. But Triple H respects Rey Mysterio. Watching his speech, I love this feud with his son, and it's continuing with Bad Bunny. But I I don't know. I'm a Rey Mysterio fan. I'm a Dominic fan too because I couldn't stand him.
Dominic's doing good as a heel.
He's funny, dude. With that
wrestling skills, no.
He's learning.
He's got a long way to go.
He got it next to his dad, bro. He did that thing on the rope pretty well. That swing thing, right. He did okay.
619.
Yeah, you're not gonna like him because of that outfit, dude. That outfit needs to change, bro.
I don't care. I don't care. I think he's doing a great job with the heel stuff, but
he's only been wrestling about a whole year, so give him a chance, man. It's just surreal to see him as a kid, and that was only like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
man, it makes me feel old. 10 years ago, I was 40.
Did you see? That's already been talked about. Vince McMahon looks like Gomez Adams. We've already talked about that. But did you see? You said you saw Ray's Hall of Fame speech?
Yeah, with Conan given to him.
For a guy that starts off training at 8 years old, and I mean,
he looks about 15 now, as much as he's grown.
Yeah, I mean that Joker.
He thanked Kevin Nash, and the only thing I can remember him and Kevin Nash is when Kevin Nash threw him into that freaking trailer, dude.
He was a human dart that night. He threw him into the trailer, but he was thanking Kevin Nash because they actually worked a program in WCW together because he did the whole giant killer thing, and that was one of them with Nash. But
he had a kiss mask at one time, didn't he? Like Gene Simmons?
Well, he's had several different masks. But to look at him and know that he had his tryout match for WCW on a pay-per-view, and I mean, he gave credit to Dean Malenko for making him look at. And that, if you haven't watched that match is incredible. I mean,
I'm just not a big fan of inducting people that are still active.
Well, he really didn't want to.
Well, I think what happened is that they were counting on Bautista to
brother.
Shecky Bautista. That they were counting on him, but I think something came up. Yeah, but I'm not a fan of that, of them doing act, and I don't think the Mysterio was either.
Well, Flair did it.
Yeah, but Flair, that's another freaking subject we can talk
anyway, about. Kyle said Nash booked him well when he had the book in WCW. He did. Ray got a lot of, that great match at Halloween Havoc 97 against Eddie Guerrero. I went back and watched that Monday
that entrance they came down. I mean,
oh gosh, the entrance.
Who is stupid enough to let Snoop Dogg drive anything? You're taking your life in your hands. That dude was flying all night, man.
And then to hear Eddie, when it starts out, just great tribute, and Ray gets the win. I actually thought for a second when the Judgment Day came down, I was like, and when Michael Cole, because I listened to a lot of things, and Michael Cole said, they shouldn't be down here. This is family. This is between family. And I thought for a second, maybe they're going to set up somewhere where Dominic says, no, you two guys go to the back. This is between me and my dad. Let me handle it. But didn't happen that way. That would have been a good way. But what's going to happen, and everybody knows what's going to happen, when he's eventually going to turn back babyface. And it's going to be because Judgment Day,
Dominic or whatever.
Yeah, Judgment Day he's going to do something, and they're going to turn on him, and Ray's going to come save him.
They need to push. What's his name? The guy that disposed of Bad Bunny.
Yeah, Damian Priest.
That dude is a star, and they're wasting him.
They were pushing him at first when he got there, but they've kind of backed off of it.
That dude is a star. So yeah, it was. And the whole sister stuff, and with the cup, and I mean, and it's like when I like that part where Ray finally had enough and he hit him. What kind of parent hits their own child? Like, I mean, I just love that, dude. And him coming out with all those, they were showing I guess they were at Thanksgiving when they beat up him.
Oh yeah, Christmas too.
You gotta get me out of jail. I ain't gonna survive, mommy.
Yeah, that was the first thing. I won't make it in there. I won't make it in there. So Kyle saying, no, don't turn Dominic babyface, turn Rhea babyface and have her feud with Dominic.
No, Rhea's going after Bianca, so she's not going to be.
Rhea would kill Dominic. I mean, that would.
Who?
He's saying have her turn babyface and feud with Dominic. She would kill him.
You know what's going to happen with Rhea though? She's too popular to be a heel. They're going to turn her. She's like the Stone Cold character. she has a lot of fans. You know what I mean? They're gonna have to maybe. Well, I don't know if is she gonna face Bianca? Is that coming
I don't
up?
know.
Or is that,
I don't know. I don't know if they're going to set that up or not. But
they need a good feud would be with Rousey, maybe Ronda Rousey. That would turn Rhea a good guy. Because Ronda got screwed by. And when I guess that's the next match we're going to talk about.
No, that's night 2. That's night 2. Serious Family Feud match was sponsored by Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Nothing says family like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And then the little mascot at the ring, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch mascot sitting at ringside. That was actually I think it was an NXT female wrestler under that.
You're gonna see that a lot more because that's what UFC does a lot. So you're gonna probably see a lot more of that.
So next up, Seth Rollins, Logan Paul.
No, Charlotte versus Flair versus Rhea was the first night, bro.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Rousey match.
Oh no. Okay, I'll let you go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I know that was first. Yeah, that's what I thought you said. So Rollins and Logan Paul, and then Logan Paul comes out of ringside with his little mascot, and
Shawn Michaels ripoff.
They kept they kept focusing on that freaking mascot so much. I said that's guy, somebody's under there. They're getting ready to get involved in this match.
Who was that? I don't know who that guy was.
It's his partner. It's his
I don't know who that is.
He's a YouTuber influencer. That's what they call him. So I didn't know. I didn't have a clue who he was either. But
I don't like the Logan Paul thing. I'm not a big fan of outsiders coming in. Kid did good wrestling though.
Well, look, the kid did good. Every time he's been out there, he's done good.
And right now, I told you this the other night, my favorite wrestler right now it's been a while, is Seth. I think they're wasting him. I mean, he had an interview he was saying, I don't know if it was a shoot or if it was real, or he's saying that, Cody Rhodes is in that position. It should be me. And he's right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he said it. And Cody Rhodes came back and said,
Becky said it too.
We really don't get along backstage, is what Cody Rhodes said. So,
well, I can kind of see
I don't know
the
if
talent.
It was set up or what, but
but a lot of people dislike Cody because he left. And then people stayed. So Seth is my favorite guy right now. That outfit was a little much.
Yeah, yeah. Kyle is saying, "What the hell is Seth Rollins' gimmick? I don't know what it's supposed to be. It's like the Joker, but not the Joker. I don't understand what it is. So we don't know either."
I'm not talking about his character. He's my favorurt performer. He's just really good.
But that match was pretty good. There was a point in that match. I don't know if somebody was hurt for a second or needed a breather. But there was a point in the match. I don't know if you saw it, where I think Seth was at the turnbuckle. Paul was like kneeling in the ring, and they were just sitting there, and they were just looking at each other. And it was like, and it wasn't a look like, and the announcers weren't going like, oh, look at this. But it was like somebody had either missed a call in the match, missed a spot, or either somebody was hurt where they needed a break. But yeah, speaking of hurt, we'll talk about that later too.
You kind of think about these wrestlers too, that these people that come from the outside. I mean, you don't have even Johnny Knoxville did okay last year. They have so much training now. Like, not just, they just don't show up unprepared. Like, I think they've been doing that. I remember Snooki a few years back did a WrestleMania. She did good. Can't stand whatever the show she's on, but never seen it. But I mean, these stars are now probably for their own benefit are prepared. And it's got to be that training center.
Yeah. But yeah, that match was okay. I mean, that was definitely the ending when when the guy revealed the mascot revealed himself, and then Rollins was set up outside the ring on the table, and then he pulled the mascot down. That was a little,
I get so jaded sometimes. Like, I was listening to the Pat McAfee show at the Super Bowl, and they were interviewing Seth, and he started talking shit about Logan. I'm like, yep, they're gonna feud. I know they're gonna feud.
That would been
see that coming a mile away.
But Rollins gets the win. Logan Paul, accordingly to reports, he is at the end of his contract with WWE. So we'll see where.
Well, with them going with UFC, he'll be back.
So we'll see.
I think Seth's
not a bad match.
Seth's been my favorite since he cashed in the Money in the Bank and beat Brock. I think he's been my favorite since then. That was a great ending to a WrestleMania.
Yeah. Next up, Charlotte defends the SmackDown Women's Championship against Rhea Ripley. And, talking about stealing the show. I mean, they put it all out there. I know there's some people that are talking about Charlotte, saying, oh, well, she wouldn't let her have her moment, but
why? Just smiling? What was wrong with that?
Smiling. She was
happy
she
for
was
her.
actually kind of tipping her hat to her because she was happy for her. But,
she's probably happy because she's about to take another 8 months off.
Yeah, she's getting ready to take a hiatus again.
She's probably going to have a baby. That's what it is. She's 39.
Well,
so
Andrade, he just came out today, said, my contract with AEW expires very soon.
And WWE's like, and
what are you saying? But
yeah,
Charlotte will get him. Charlotte will get him there.
I told a friend of mine that I don't like the heel Charlotte, but I like the babyface Charlotte because she's not as obnoxious. She's a direct opposite of her dad, but I knew Rhea was going to win because Rhea's the future. She's held every title.
There was so much build up for her that you knew she was going.
It's almost you wanted to call her Cody Rhodes Jr.
Yeah, but did you see the where Charlotte's very lucky. If it hadn't been a little bit further, she might have fell on her head, but she just got her nose. Just got a big old rug burn on her nose. Yeah. But yeah, they left it all like that. Kyle, I agree. Great match, best women's match I've seen in years, and maybe ever. They worked like men, and they were putting it out there. And I don't know if you saw at the end. A lot of people were talking about at the end when Rhea did the riptide off the top turnbuckle. She whispered "thank you" to Charlotte.
Oh, she did. Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, if you go back and look at it, she does say something. A lot of people saying she said thank you, and of course Charlotte.
That says a lot about Charlotte too, because you have your Bret Harts in the world that don't think it's it's right to put others over, and that's what you do. You win, you look at these guys that like I was watching Raw last night or the other night, and I guess Cyrus is a jobber now. I mean, he was a big guy a couple years ago, but that's what you do. That's what professionals do. They do their job.
Put them over. You got to put people over. Yeah. And people remember that. I saw I don't know if you remember Buddy Landale.
Rip off Landale? Yeah.
Well, he was doing a shoot interview and Kyle's upset. You said something bad about Bret Hart. So he's a Bret Hart fan, I guess. Anyway,
I stand behind it.
But
the biggest, most overrated wrestler of all time.
Oh, God. Buddy Landale went to WWF back in the day, and this was in the 90s. And somebody didn't want to put, gosh, what's his name, Ahmed Johnson over, and they said, yeah. He said he would do it. He said, I'll take their place and I'll do it.
I need the money. I'll do it.
Yeah. Vince said, Vince came up to him and said, I appreciate that. I'm going to have you go over on Raw tomorrow
night.
Buddy
Landale was in Raw during the Attitude Era?
Yeah. In the mid 90s.
Really? I don't remember that.
He was. That was one of the last big things.
I was just kidding about Bret Hart. I like Bret Hart.
I'm
kidding.
Leaving LaGrange to come get you now.
I like Bret Hart. I like Bret Hart. He just whines a little too much, and I'm an HBK guy. So there you go.
Yeah. So Charlotte and Rhea probably, we'll get into the rankings in a minute, but it's going to be hard to top that. But then you've got the main event. The first time a tag team title match has been main event in WrestleMania. The Usos defend against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and back and forth all night, and not. I mean, hard to follow that Charlotte match though. I mean, they were. I guess they didn't think that was going to be, but it was hard for them to match that. But they did a good job, and it was a good match. But
it's funny. Out of all four of those guys, I like Sammy the least. I love the
Of
Usos.
course
I
you
like
do.
Kevin Owens.
Of course,
I'm
you
just
do.
not a
I
big
like
Sami
Kevin.
Zayn. I'm not a big Sami Zayn fan.
Well,
I mean, nothing. I mean, he did great in that thing, but I mean, when you have the Usos and Kevin Owens, I mean, you're talking about three of the best. Well, okay, I take that back. Jay and KO are the two best in that
it's
ring.
just like he said in the press conference after it was over. Yeah, tell me about it. I think the WWE should bring the Young Bucks in and have them fight the Usos to see who can do the most super kicks in one match. And yeah, have a super kickoff. Instead of pinfalls, see how many times you can connect on a super kick. I guarantee there'll be about 150 in them.
Man, the one thing that WWE I think they're overdoing is the close kickouts.
Yeah, they do.
Because
But look,
it's like your finishing mood. I mean, they did this with the Roman Reigns. Yeah, I mean, what's the point of having a finishing move if it doesn't do the job?
How many times Cody Rhodes hit Roman Reigns with a crossroads twice and he kicked out both times? Why,
But they do that too much. I mean, the crowd's still into it, but
oh yeah, because it's a close finish, and
then honestly,
he is injured. But
when the Usos lost, it's like, yeah, they're gonna there's no way Roman's gonna lose.
Well, I said that because I think he's gonna start pointing fingers at the Usos. And
he already blew them off.
Yeah, he did, and he started that Monday night. So, that crowd was incredible pop. But if you watch the press conference after that,
they're setting something up between him and Jay.
Oh yeah,
Jay and him had it out before.
Yeah, but Sammy was talking about the whole program. He said that it wouldn't have worked with anybody else but who we had in it, like the bloodlines and Kevin Owens, because it was so much, with that big friendship with Kevin Owens. He said that was why it worked, and he's right. So night one,
those all four of those guys are good friends. You can tell.
Oh yeah,
a match wouldn't have been that good, and they take certain liberties you don't take with somebody that's not your friend.
Yeah,
but did you see Kevin Owens eating those Snickers bar? Triple H was like, man, I was kind of worried about Kevin. I'm working on the Snicker bars up here. That was so funny.
Yeah, he was tearing them up.
I'm not a big fan of the Kevin Owens good guy. I love him as a bad guy, and to see him on Good Morning America, him and like just giving these like it's like that's not Kevin Owens. Remember, but I get it.
I remember downloading Ring of Honor stuff back because you saw him take a moment to talk about the Briscoes.
They were saying something about wearing PWG. What was that?
That was where they started off at.
Is that a wrestling organization?
Dragon. Yeah, that's where they got their start at.
Well, you can kiss that goodbye if your daddy's back in charge.
Yeah. But
that was cool about the Briscoes.
Kyle saying I think Jay versus Roman at SummerSlam would be a great main event.
May happen.
But I love both Kevin Owens. I mean, he was when I remember watching him when he was Kevin Steen in Ring of Honor. And then, I was like, that guy's freaking. Who is that? Who is it's another Facebook user. I'm sorry. Whoever that is, identify yourself. But
we don't need to see your identification.
Ben said that. Okay. Ben, this is a up and coming wrestler, a young wrestler here. Ben Miller. I know Ben, and Ben's going to give us. He's gave me his rankings for all the matches. But yeah, and seeing Kevin come to NXT, started off in NXT, and I was like, dude, this guy's going to be
another guy pushed by Triple H that McMahon didn't believe in.
Yep, there's a bunch of them, dude.
If anything about Sammy, I don't dislike the guy, but you talk about most improved over the year. To think he did that losing to Knoxville last year, and that was funny. Knoxville like flipping him off. It's all fun. Yeah. But I mean, and to see that picture of him and Becky Lynch, I mean, just hugging. It's like, man. Yeah. I mean, he's solidified himself. He's a star. And my hat's off to him.
Yeah, we did leave out one match. It was Pat McAfee versus The Miz, which was Okay.
I
I'm
like
not even
Pat
there.
McAfee. And I like the Miz.
Snoop set him up, and Pat McAfee come out and beat the Miz. So anyway,
On to
night
night
one.
2.
Night one. So worst match of night one.
We're gonna rank our matches.
Yeah, let's do night one.
The Pat McAfee one.
Yeah, that was definitely all right. So that's what I've got. That's my worst match. Then second worst for me, Cena Theory.
I agree with you.
Next up, women's tag team match. Lita, Trish versus Damage Control. Then
I disagree with that one.
okay, you don't think that was the third worst?
No, because I think but I'm not a big Bailey fan, but they did good. I think the only weak part was Lita. I would say the 4-way or the 3-way or whatever it is.
I'll tell you this. I'll agree with you there until Ricochet did his flip, until Braun Strowman got sidetracked by
but Ricochet can do all that stuff, but he still loses. That just kills it for me. You know what I mean? It's like you have such a great move and they just squash you. I hate that.
Nobody in that tag match, in the women's tag team match, did anything to top what Ricochet or what the Street Profits did. I mean,
yeah, but they were better. They were better looking, so they weren't the worst.
That's why I was going to say it's eye candy for
anything with Becky Lynch is I'm going to vote for it. I'm in favor of it.
Okay, so we flip flop on that probably.
Okay,
You're probably
gotcha.
Okay. Next up for me is Mysterio match.
Yeah, I can. Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah, Mysterio match. Then Seth's match with Logan Paul.
Yes.
Then the Usos versus Zayn and Owens.
I'm flipping.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So you think that was better than Rhea and Charlotte?
Yes.
I have to disagree with that one.
No, I think that I'm a big Uso and I'm a big Kevin Owens fan. That's like 3 of my favorites. I'm not a big Rhea fan yet, and I'm not a big Charlotte fan. So I was great, but I think that just the culmination, seeing the ending of it, I just like that tag match. That was my favorite.
Okay, so I'm gonna read Ben's rankings from night one. Worst to best. Okay. He agrees. Pat McAfee versus The Miz. Then the men's fatal 4-way tag match.
So he's with me.
No, he's a little bit lower.
Oh, he put that lower? Okay.
He put that second to worst. He put Cena versus Theory
above that. I don't know if I would have done that. No, I didn't.
Yeah. Then the Damage Control and Lita, Trish Stratus, Becky Lynch. Then Charlotte and Rhea.
Wow. He ranked it lower than we did.
He said would have been ranked higher because of Charlotte was coming in as a face, but was more of a heel. Match was still awesome. Then Seth Rollins and Logan Paul. Then Mysterio and the Mysterio match, and then the Usos and Kevin Owens. He agrees with you on that.
Yeah. He's a smart man.
So night 2. It starts off with a humdinger, boy.
I didn't like I like Brock Lesnar, but he was so almost or whatever his name is was so dominant, and he just lost like that. It's like Brock ran out of steam. We got to pin the guy.
Let me tell you
rushed. You talk about rushed.
Let me tell you this: if they had let Omos beat Brock Lesnar, you talking about Giant Gonzalez Jr.? I mean, come on. This guy,
no, he's got more talent than Giant Gonzalez, dude. Come on, he's not that bad.
It's maybe that much. The guy is walks around like this and gives that same.
If you were 9 feet tall, you'd do that too, Stevie. There's a lot of less oxygen up there, man. Come on,
walks around looking down. Every time he looks at somebody, he's got to look like he farted. He's in the middle of a terrible fart or something. He's constipated or something. He's not. No,
I think he's no.
This is the biggest waste of time since. And God rest his soul, Giant Gonzalez. God rest his soul.
At least he's not wearing a muscle shirt like that or outfit.
Well,
like
don't.
That guy did.
Hey, look, if Vince is in charge again, it may be coming.
This guy is almost too big to be a wrestler because nobody can technically beat him, and people like that they don't last long. He's an attraction. They should make him an attraction like Andre. That's what they should do.
He's okay. He's not far along enough. And I know I'm not an expert. All you wrestling experts out there, you're fine. You can talk trash or whatever.
Hey, you're talking to one right here, dude.
He's not far enough along to be pushed the way he is. There was a reason why they wanted to put a belt on him so much, and they had to put AJ Styles with him to carry him.
Well, they're going to put a belt on him now that your boy's in charge again.
Oh, gosh. That's going to be – look. I'm already on the way out. That would put me on the way out.
But I heard that Brock, but they wanted to make Brock face what's his name? Who's the guy with the fireflies or whatever? But Brock didn't want to fight him.
Fireflies.
Didn't he have the fireflies?
Yes.
Was that the song or whatever? Yeah, I forget the name.
Yes.
He's Wyndham's. He's Rotonda's son, or IRS's son. But Brock didn't want that match, so they had to kind of do this. Two big bodies, why not?
Yeah, just it didn't. It wasn't any better than I thought it was going to be. It wasn't any worse than I thought it would be. They did the whole Brock.
Well, they made it almost so dominant, and then Brock just comes up with a couple suplexes and beats him. It's like that totally killed and squashed him.
The only good thing about it was seeing Brock actually get him up into F5, and that was pretty funny to see that. So
I guess we know what our worst match is.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then the women's tag team match. And I don't know who booked it, but you got somebody like Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. They're supposed to be the tough ones. And they sit out pretty much the whole match and then come in the ring and take advantage of it. That was why. You didn't make yourself look any stronger.
Ronda's not a good wrestler. That's why Becky and Charlotte had to carry her at Mania. She's just average.
She's, I'm not a Ronda Rousey fan.
I'm not either. I mean, Raquel Rodriguez, she's great.
Oh, good Lord. That joker, she is.
What? You don't like her?
Yeah, I like her.
Okay.
I do like her.
Yeah, and I think Liv Morgan's too small. And
Liv Morgan can work.
Yeah, she can work. And Chelsea Green, she's cute. And whatever happened to what's his name's wife? Who's the guy that's the announcer? Did he have a wife?
Talking about Carmella?
Yeah.
I think she's taking some time off.
Okay.
And Alexa Bliss, she had to take time off because she had like it was a skin cancer thing.
Yeah, Ronda. I'm not a big Ronda fan.
I was not impressed with that match at all.
I don't like her because she legitimately cuts down the sport. She actually thinks she's better, and I think that's a real life thing too.
Yeah,
and
she's bigger than what she actually is.
But Charlotte and Becky Becky and Charlotte had to carry her in that match.
Yeah,
she just hasn't. She hasn't got any better. I don't.
UFC's one thing, but she's not a.
She was a one-trick pony in UFC because when she lost to Holly Holm, the myth was just like, wow, Holly Holm, really.
So, Bianca Belair, and Asuka. I thought this was a really good match. The women have some good matches. They, I kept calling for the miss. I said they cannot go this whole match without Asuka doing the miss.
How do they do that? Does she have a capsule? They don't keep that in their mouth all the time, do they?
No, I think she's got to have. Somebody actually asked me on the live thing, and the only thing I can figure, she's got to have it somewhere on her, like in her tights or a pocket in her tights or something, and when she gets ready to do it, she goes down or something and is able to put it in her mouth.
And that's a great Motley Crue song. That's a great Motley Crue song. She goes down. That's a great Motley Crue song.
And just like Muda, who, Muda got put in the Hall of Fame.
Muda. Who's Muda?
Great Muda. The great Muda.
Oh, yeah, the one that Ric Flair ruined. It was all about Ric Flair.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that yet. I didn't watch all that.
You know what? And I'm like this. This Ric Flair stock with me is just going.
Don't you remember we did our top 10 with
Joe?
Yes. I'm so bad with names. Sorry, Joe. And I was telling you that he wasn't my number one just because of the stuff he's done.
It's getting worse. He's getting worse as it goes.
I can't listen to his podcast because he just sounds so damn bitter.
I don't even listen to it. But so yeah, that one was.
I'm a big Bianca fan, and that stuff she did with the kids, that was pretty cool. It was pretty sad though that one girl, her mom,
contortionist. Yeah, her mom just died that day.
Was it unexpected or was she dying?
I don't know. I have not heard the whole story about whether it was she.
It was the girl that was flipping, right?
Yeah, the one that put her freaking legs in front of. Yeah.
Did you ever see that Japanese horror movie where that thing would crawl down the stairs? That would remind me of that.
No,
it's called Ju-on or something like that. It's Juon, and it just. Oh, you're not a member of Chamber of Thrills?
I am, but I'm not that big of a horror guy.
I'm not either.
So that one was good. I was at Belair gets the win, and then Hell in a Cell, Edge against Finn Balor, and the only disappointing part of this match was rumored all week long. Gangrel, and they were even saying that Tony Khan had give Christian permission to go one night just to go out there with Edge and had the Brood reunite. So I don't know what happened there, if it was just hearsay or something fell through, but dude.
I'm a big Edge fan, as you can tell.
Yeah.
I popped so hard when I heard South of Heaven.
Yeah.
And that outfit looked
cool. And when he came out with the bat wings.
That outfit looked like a Jason, like almost a Jason. I mean, not being a horror fan, but you know who Jason is.
Yeah.
But when he came out the South of Heaven, I was like, and then he kicked in his theme. I thought that was a pretty cool touch.
Yeah.
Slayer got a payday. They haven't got one since they retired. That was great because Edge is a rocker like us.
Yeah, so Edge, Hell in a Cell, there's going to be some big bumps. And there was a huge bump with a ladder going right into Finn Balor. And as soon as it happened, I don't know if you noticed or not, the cameras would not go down to where Balor was.
That's how you knew he was hurt.
Yeah, and Edge just kept pacing around the ring. And then he went to go get a chair out to try to he was trying to keep the camera away from over there, but they said that's
what a professional does.
Yep, exactly. The medic was there at ringside, got in there, gave him a numbing agent, like a shot,
and stitched him up, right?
Stitched him up as much as she could, but he ended up, if you see the actual gash, it took 14 staples to close that gash.
You know what it looked like to me? It looked like a centipede was on his head or something.
Yeah.
Because all the little. I don't know, man. I've never been a big fan of Finn Balor. I don't get it. He's too small. He's too small.
When he first came over from NXT, you got to get small guys, dude. What's the deal with that?
Yeah, but
is that some kind of
small
phobia you got or something like that?
Well, you said something about baldness a while ago, dude. So, hey, it's payback.
So, Edge gets the win over Balor, and is this Edge's last hurrah?
Nah. SummerSlam, Toronto. They're gonna be in Toronto at SummerSlam. That'll be it.
Okay, so that'll be it for him.
But that dude, Edge, is great. He's one of my favorites. That dude needs to grow his hair out. His hair looked bad.
Yeah, but he's never gonna be able to get it out like he used to, bud. Unless he puts.
There's some of us that'll never be able to do that at all. So that's what I see. I see all these guys that have all this hair. It's like, man, if I had hair, it'd be long. I've had like 8 mullets already. So.
Next up, triple threat match. Gunther versus Sheamus and versus Drew McIntyre.
I had to look him up where he was from. He's from Austria, like Schwarzenegger, right?
Yeah, dude.
That's a good match.
I liked it. Was everything it was supposed to be and more. I mean, these guys beat and I called the ending. I said they're going to end up, Sheamus and McIntyre are going to end up beating the crap out of each other.
Fella.
And he's going to come in the ring because he was knocked out of the ring. And when he got back in after they had beat the crap out of each other, he just did his finisher and pinned him. But
I didn't know much about Gunther or whatever.
Yeah, Gunther.
But I became a fan of his at the Royal Rumble. I thought he was pretty good.
He did good at wrestling.
Yeah, he did.
You're going to see a big push for him.
It's funny with Sheamus. He's always reminded me of James Hetfield for some reason. He just, not the way he talks, but just they kind of like they could be like brothers or cousins. But that may be the last we see of McIntyre. his contract's up and he doesn't want to sign. So he may be going back to.
I saw after it was over, there was a picture of
them lying down.
Yeah.
It said pints.
Yep.
That's cool.
That was pretty cool. Ben is saying Gunther deserves to be world champion with this Intercontinental reign. I'm loving it. So could happen.
Yeah,
it could happen.
That's somebody nobody's talking about. I mean, when Savage had the title, who'd he go after? Hogan, the champion.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore. Could be changing the weather.
Then we've got
because there's really no. I think you know Jay going after Roman, but if not, it'll be maybe Gunther.
So Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes main event, and back and forth, and I mean finishing move, false finish. The only thing I had a problem with is great.
Fox finish after Fox finish after Fox finish. Too many.
I didn't like the way it ended. A good match I know he's a heel, but you got that good of a match, and then
it ended like his dad's matches ended. Outside interference.
No,
his dad got screwed.
If that had been his dad's match, they would have had a pinfall, and then reversed the decision, the Dusty finish.
Yeah, that's true.
They would have reversed it, said he had got disqualified for doing something. That's like,
or he would have been in a cage, and he got turned on like Flair turned on Dusty when,
but
like Brock turned on Cody.
I think
I don't know. I think it was a little much. I don't think they needed the Usos to be involved, but it got Sammy and KO there.
You knew
so,
it was coming.
And the Usos are pretty popular too, but it just should have. They should have just with the Spike guy. That should have been enough.
Solo.
Yeah.
I
talk about the one that looks like the Rikishi the most. That's him.
Yeah, definitely.
Poor dude.
Yeah, I just didn't like that. I just didn't like the way it. I know it was. You didn't want to give a clean finish over Cody, but come on, dude, that was.
But I mean, how coincidental? The next day they announced who's back in charge. You don't think they're swearing Triple H did this, but we all know how. I mean,
Gomez,
Vince McMahon is just like Jerry Jones. I didn't draft you. You're not my favorite.
Yep.
So
he's done that for you ever since I've been watching it. Look at what he did to Dusty.
I'm not convinced that if they're saying, well, Cody's going to pay his dues, and I'm not convinced. This may have been Cody's shot, and I think it's stupid. You know why? Because if you're in the AEW locker room right now and you're looking over at your king that went back, who Triple H pretty much promised to bring back
right here.
Why would you go back? Why would you go to AEW and get buried like that? And you know who's laughing at this right now, knowing this was going to happen? That's probably Jericho, because he knows how vindictive McMahon is.
Yeah, yeah. So
I liked it. I'm not a big fan of long title reigns because I think it makes the rest of your roster look weak.
It does.
Yeah, he helped. I mean, why are the women's titles switched, but the men's title? There should be one person should have each of those titles.
I agree.
You're wasting. I mean, you're wasting that. It's like they're talking about. The Dusty never got the Universal title, but he had the other title. It was called the NWA title.
But
or is the Universal title the NWA
Universal
title?
There's a Universal and there's a World title.
So the Universal title used to be the NWA title. Remember when Jericho got them? Yeah. I think the WWE is like
they switched the Universal. Yeah. There was a World Championship and there was a Raw Championship at the time when Jericho had it.
Yeah, but
they turned it into Universal in the World. Yeah.
I saw the Flair belt. I just figured it was the NWA title.
I don't have a problem with the two belts, but I have a problem with both of them being on one guy.
Yes.
The whole reason you said you wanted to do two belts was to keep it separate and have opportunities for different people. And when you're doing
maybe that's what they're doing. Bianca and Rhea. Maybe they're going to do
maybe
that
so. Either unify them and have one belt, or have one on
But they
SmackDown and one
unified
on
them, then
Raw.
they split them again. They'll just split them again.
That's
Stupid.
exactly right.
If you have SmackDown and you have Raw, you should have a champion for each one of them.
Exactly.
I mean, Roman doesn't wrestle on both.
I agree. All right. So we have one more match. The Miz gets it again. We didn't even talk about George Kittle interfering or getting the Miz with the Pat McAfee match the other night. George Kittle, 49,
49er, who cares?
Yeah. Well, I know you're gonna have bad. I mean, I know you ain't gonna like it after.
I wish the Miz would have kicked his butt.
Never mind.
I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter 2 years in a row. Not at all.
You should have put the Miz at center. It would have worked then.
Would have been better than Zeke.
Anyway,
tell you what though, Snoop Dogg saved the show. He saved that segment.
The Miz comes out with Snoop Dogg, and
I didn't think that was real at first. Shane doing that, I was like, "Hey, what's happening?" Yeah. Shane, are just trying to get Snoop involved, but no, Shane hurt himself.
They went away from him. That camera moved away from him quick too.
Because I was like, I saw Shane go back, and then I was like, where'd he go? Yeah,
and
Shane the Miz too. Miz is MVP, one of the great heels.
Yes, definitely.
Another guy who puts the company above himself. Bret Hart wouldn't have done that.
Anyway, Miz gets into it with Snoop. Snoop brings Shane O'Mac out. Shane O'Mac starts wrestling Miz.
Shane O'Mac gets a big pop. Oh,
does a leapfrog and tears his quad. And Snoop Dogg steps up and knocks Miz out.
What the hell is it up with those family in the quads? It was Triple H, Vince, and now Shane.
Vince did it, yeah. They were saying like father, like son. I guess it's.
But Triple H finished the match, though, bro.
Yeah. So, let's give our rankings on night 2.
All right.
Miz, and not because of the content, but just because of what happened. Miz and Shane, that had to be the
I can't do that to I can't do that to the Snoop and the Miz for saving the day. It has to be the Brock Lesnar match.
Okay, well, we're flip flopping on that because Lesnar and Omos is next. Then
I'll give the Snoop thing next, but I can't rate it the worst.
Then the women's tag team match was next. That was,
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Then Belair and Asuka.
No.
Okay. Who you got next?
I will pick Edge versus Baylor because I don't think it was as good because he got hurt. I think they had to short up.
We're flip flopping on that one too.
Okay.
So then this was tough to pick the top 2 for me. And I picked the top one, and that'll give you who my second one is because I knew my favorite match of the night was the triple threat for the Intercontinental title. Gunther. Wow. Yeah, they just put it all out there, dude. And I mean, they didn't hold anything back. And I mean, they had a chop fest. They slugged it out. I mean, everything. And nothing against Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes, but that, and even if Cody would have won, I would have ranked the Intercontinental match first. And I picked
the Roman Reigns versus Cody. I'm not a big Cody Rhodes fan. I wasn't a big Dusty Rhodes fan. I didn't dislike the guy, but the guy was from Austin, Texas, and he was a Texas Aggie, so that just rose me.
You're holding.
Just kidding. No, I'm not a big Rhodes. I think my favorite Rhodes out of all of them was probably Goldust. I love that character. But I'm a big Roman Reigns fan because I watched him go through so much shit when the fans were booing him, when he was just doing and I'm a Paul Heyman guy. And I'm a Uso, and I hate seeing them break up, but I'm okay with them leaving it on Reigns. I knew this was going to happen when the Usos lost because it's going to start, it's like, well, I didn't lose. And you didn't see the brother he's with Roman. He ain't with the Usos.
Yep. But
they were still out there doing that thing. And the next night, give you the night off. He wouldn't even talk to him. So
yep.
I'm glad that this is continuing. But not a big Rhodes fan, not a big Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes to me is somebody that like needs to reassure himself. Like even his theme song, he's got to talk about that. Just does. I don't like the character. I'm not. And that tattoo just irks me. I mean, it's like I don't get why people put neck tattoos. I mean, I'm not a tattoo guy, but I mean, but I'm not a Cody Rhodes fan. I don't think he was their second choice because they wanted The Rock. And I think Roman Reigns can carry the company. He's done it. I don't think Rhodes can. I think that's why they kept it on Roman, is because it's like Bret Hart. I hate to bring up Bret Hart, but he was champion during some of the like least rated stuff in WWE history. I mean, you got some champions that do it. I mean, that you could say Shawn Michaels too.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels was.
I mean, when they put it on Austin, that was WWF's research. It's always going to be WWF. I just don't think Cody Rhodes is. I mean, I think people like him, but I don't think he's got the pizzazz. I mean, Roman's great. I think Roman's should be the head for a while. I don't know who's going to beat him. I think maybe Gunther, maybe Jay. At least take one of the titles off him. But when he's dominant like that, it makes the rest of your roster look weak. So I'm a Roman's fan. So
yeah. So Ben's worst to best women's fatal 4-way tag match was his worst. Then Lesnar versus Omos. Wow. Then The Miz versus Snoop.
Wow, Snoop and Miz are getting some love.
Then McIntyre, Sheamus, and Gunther. Then Edge and Balor. Asuka and Bianca. And then Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns.
So he's like my our three were the same. Top three, right? Bianca, then
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I thought the first night was the better night.
Yeah, definitely. First night was better. So now we keep hearing all day Sunday that WWE is getting ready to be sold. And like I told you, I'll believe it when I see it, because there's so much being talked about in the past. So Endeavor, who is a company that owns UFC, Monday they announced that Endeavor has bought WWF. They have 51% of the vote of the stock, and WWE has 49%. So at first, nothing is going to change as far as Triple H goes. Triple H will still be head of creative, and McMahon would be like some kind of executive position. That changed.
He's second in command.
Yeah, that changed for Raw.
Yeah.
From what everybody says, Vince was in the gorilla position at Raw, and he was changing things that had been wrote up
on the fly. Yeah.
Yeah. No pun intended. So it was like, let's say, for instance, Damage Control. Bayley was supposed to come out. Vince changed that. Bayley didn't come out. There were several things changed. Seth Rollins goes to the ring. I don't know if you saw this on YouTube. He goes to the ring and he's going to do a promo. The commercial, how they go to commercial. While they were at commercial, somebody ran down, and that's why you didn't see Seth Rollins say anything. He just left the ring.
Oh, really? I didn't watch that.
You watch it, go look it up on YouTube. Somebody came down and he was like, just look. And there were several things according to what a lot of like Wrestling Inc.
They say that morale just in the locker room.
And there's a lot of them that are saying they're going to, if this is the direction they're going with Vince, they're going to ask for their release. And a lot of them are saying they're just riding out to their contract ends. And I will tell you this, from the looks of Raw Monday night, if Vince was in charge, good riddance to Raw for right now, for me.
I have a problem with the whole Vince McMahon thing, because I'm not going to get political. The guy's a predator. Can you imagine your daughter working at the WWE?
Yep.
And somebody in power, using their power and he's rich. He got away with it.
He sure did.
He find
paid it off.
Nothing happened to the man. And it just pisses me off that people, that are in a thing of power get away with it, the stuff we wouldn't get away with. And I have not felt the same about Vince McMahon when he was gone. Okay, he's still part of it. I got to think a lot of that Stephanie not being involved has a lot to do with that. She has been totally absent.
Oh, yeah. She stepped away.
And they had all these, I think Real Sports was going to do a story on him. He quashed that. I mean, he's like another Brett Favre that just, it's just screwing the little. I mean, these were interns, Steve.
Yep.
Yeah, it could have been consensual, but you don't want some 70-year-old man doing that to your kid. And I say kid, it could be 20 or something. Yeah, they got paid off, but that doesn't make it right. That's all I'm going to say. And then,
I agree.
And that's why a lot of talent, they were told, hey, when it's sold, we won't have this thing. What do you think they gave Tony? Tony Khan didn't want him in the company.
Nobody
Tony Khan
did.
wanted him gone. This Triple H did. Triple H was, there's a new way of doing things.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody in that company that wants Vince in charge right now. And this may be the downfall. He's that much of an egotistical.
Yeah, he is.
That he's not. He doesn't see it. He doesn't see that it's going to ruin that company with him being up there. People are going to leave.
Well, if he keeps booking it that way, like I said,
nobody's going to be watching.
I still think the Cody Quash thing was him. I think
so too.
And you're seeing now, you may see AEW. They got the money. They may be getting a lot of the talent in WWE. I don't know. I don't know where they're going to put them because they're overstocked as it is now.
I don't know what the big announcement was, but it was supposed to, which Tony Khan makes a big announcement about every day.
They're having a 2-part WrestleMania, like a card like that. I think that's what they're saying. That's what the rumor was. I heard.
I don't know. They've got a new guy, that Nigel McGuinness. I don't know if you've ever heard of him or not. That was coming over, but I don't know. Let me see if it says anything about it up here. No, it doesn't. It just says results so far. So Jay White, switch. I don't know who that is. We just have to wait and see. A lot of people are saying they're going to tune in to SmackDown, and if that is in the same manner as what Raw was and Vince is in charge, then that might be it for them as far as watching.
Well, I can see now why they talked about the deal, why Triple H and Tony Khan got paid a lot of money, because they probably can't be happy with this.
No.
Because Tony Khan didn't want him in there. Tony Khan wanted McMahon out. McMahon's day was great, but, a lot of that stuff that, he gets a lot of credit for in the Attitude Era, a lot of that was wrestlers writing that stuff. It wasn't him. Yeah. He's out of touch. He likes them big, and that's why almost like you said, he'll probably get a title because he loves the character stuff.
That's gonna be so ridiculous if they put a belt on him.
The best thing that could have happened years ago was when Eric Bischoff tried to buy WCW. That would have been better. But now that he has WCW, AEW, they're trying, but he owns all the good stuff.
Yeah.
So I think somebody like look what they did with Bischoff and Paul Heyman. They came in, stuff wasn't working. He took it away from him. He doesn't give stuff a chance. Triple H didn't get a chance.
Triple H had it headed the right direction.
He did.
Yep.
Yeah, and honestly, they're part
Triple
of.
H. If I'm Triple H, start my own freaking company.
Yeah, but that big conglomerate though, they may be getting rid of WWE. They could be. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
It's been a time, where I don't really know what's going to happen. And
it's a lot better than the Saudis buying it because it would really.
Yeah,
they wanted they were upset because they didn't meet the Macho Man. We would have had a lot of fake razors and fake diesels back again.
Jeez.
Like, that's the Macho Man right there. It's not Randy Savage. I didn't say it was Randy Savage. It's the Macho Man.
Yeah. So
on that bright note.
Anything? Any last words?
No.
No.
WrestleMania was great, and like I
Yeah.
said,
Raw sucked.
it's going to be interesting to see it. But I mean, if you have talent like Seth Rollins getting upset, that's not a good thing for your brand.
How do you go from having probably one of the best nights, one of the best weekends, to going down to where you're just so demoralized? And that's how they are.
But there's no more board to vote him out. They voted him out before. They won't do that now. The only person that can fire him is the guy that evidently he's over both.
Yeah.
But he's not over Dana White. But he's not over Dana White. He still reports that Dana White's too big. Dana White and McMahon are like the same, but Dana White has nothing to do with WWE.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll see. And
I'll tell you one thing you're going to see. You're going to see ads on trunks. And you're going to see ads on the ring.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And those
mascots.
Like Lesnar used to get money for Jimmy John's, but those wrestlers aren't going to make any money off that.
That's going to be
because they're going to water down their contracts so much, especially the WWE, that and the one thing about UFC, they don't care about the stars. If somebody gets too big, hey, screw you. I'll just bring somebody else up. That's what's going to happen in WWE. Because there was some fighter that held out for more money, and they said, okay, we don't need you. So he had to go. He had to leave. So it's the Walmart of stuff. Like, we don't pay our people. They don't like it. We get somebody cheaper. It's corporate America.
Exactly. All right, guys. We hope you've enjoyed this WrestleMania 39 recap. We'll thank
especially
Kyle.
The last 20 minutes where we were just so happy and chipper about WWE future.
Kyle and Ben, thank you guys for chiming in.
Thank you, man.
And, we appreciate it, and hope all you guys watched, enjoyed it. But we will be back again sometime soon. We'll have hopefully our big Kiss interview coming up soon. And guys, you know what? I am tired. I'm ready to go to bed. So that's going to do it for this week. Worden, have a good week.
You too, brother.
You guys enjoy your week, rest of your week, and have a happy Easter. And that's going to do it tonight on the fly.
See ya.